you sent me the email was about the stages of awakening. And I think that first stage of awakening is when you realize, or when you're aware of your own suffering. And in that place of awareness of your own suffering, there's a point of, I don't want to be here anymore. Yeah. I don't want to be doing this, right? And it's either I don't want to be here fully, or I just want to, something needs to change. So I think that's what happened at a few times in life. But that very pivotal time where I found yoga was, I had a business in Wellington, which is in Wellington, New Zealand, capital city. And it was a beauty business, beauty massage. So still in that kind of industry where you're helping others. Sometimes I felt like the counselor in that space. And always about, helping others to find their own light, or shine their light of awareness on their essence nature. That's always been within me, to kind of shine that mirror image so that people can see their own light, right? Yeah. I think way back then, it's always been that. So I nearly lost the business, nearly went bankrupt. Father committed suicide. So it was a really pivotal time. It was the time of the crash, the market crash around 2007, 2008. And at that time, I was pushing hard, like everything was, I worked hard. I had a child as well. I was a solo mum. And he was, how old was he? Maybe 15 boy. And so just really pushing hard, just to support him, to support myself, to give to everybody. And then all of a sudden I just had to surrender, because everything was going to go. I was going to lose, that was like, I could just lose everything right now. So that was the first moment of awareness of what I call Ishwara, right? The idea of surrender. Although with Ishwara, it's not supposed to be about surrendering when everything is absolutely at its end point. But it was that moment where I actually did surrender, and I was okay. I was okay if I was going to go bankrupt. I was okay if I lost everything, because I just didn't. It was like, what's the worst could happen? The worst has happened, or could happen, and I can only do what I can do. Right? I can only control what's happening within me. I can't control the outside forces and things going on outside. So it was that first moment of true surrender. And in that moment of surrender, there was a huge serenity, right? There was oh my gosh, this is just amazing. I don't care. All this happens. And then of course it didn't happen, because I'd let go, and angels, people came along and were there to help and support with that, because I'd let go of the fight, of the struggle, and allowed for things to open up and good things to come in and support. So that was really the pivotal changing point. I'd found, as we talked about, I'd found hot yoga in New Zealand, which was just around the corner from my business. An American couple had set it up. And within 6 months of me walking up the stairs and finding my corner at the yoga studio, which was very much for, at that time, asana. I went there for the physical, silent on the mat, didn't talk to anybody at that time. I just needed the space and the silence and the calm and the movement and the sweat.